Vanakkam Makkale, when I started learning about finance, especially personal finance, the topic that interested to me the most was compound interest. In personal finance world, it is often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. I would like to quote Albert Einstein. He said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. If he doesn't, he then pays for it. Compound interest is like the snowball that is running down the mountain. As it keeps going down the mountain, it gets bigger in size. Similarly, compound interest grows your savings by adding interest not just to the initial amount but also to the accumulated interest, creating a snowball effect on your money. Human mind is equipped to think linearly. We understand simple interest, but understanding compound interest is really important because it helps you grow your money, or if you don't understand it, you end up paying a lot over the long term. Let's see the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Let's take an example of $100 invested at 10% simple interest over 30 years. You know how much that will end up to be? $400. Same thing, if $100 is invested and that grows at a compound interest rate of 10% over 30 years, you will end up with a whopping $1,744.94. That's a huge difference, right? So this is why you need to know about compound interest, because it's going to help you in your personal finance life in a huge way. If you understand compound interest, it helps you and empowers you the way you invest your money and the way you borrow your money. For the compound interest to have a good effect or bad effect on the money, the most important factor is time. Let's see this with an example. For this example, we are going to assume that we are going to buy a $500,000 house and the down payment is going to be 20% and the interest rate is 6%. First, we are going to see the 15-year fixed rate mortgage. 20% of 500,000 is 100,000, so the loan amount will be 400,000. In this 15-year fixed rate mortgage for an interest rate of 6.5%, the interest we would have paid over the course of 15 years would be $385,087.47. However, if you are going with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with the same $500,000 house, 20% down payment and 6.5% interest, you know how much the interest would be? $481,906.87. Did you guys realize the effect of time on the mortgage? Just by extending it from a 15-year to a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, you're almost paying $100,000 in interest over those 15 years. This is the reason why it is important to know about compound interest and how we can use this to our advantage. So, to use compound interest to our advantage while we are investing, start early as possible. Timing the market is not important, but time in the market is important. If you start early and you keep invested in the market or a long term, compound interest will do its magic. And choose assets that are relatively safe, like index funds. If you're in the US, go with S&P 500, and if you're in India, go with Nifty 50. And when you're using compound interest while borrowing money, try to reduce the loan term as much as possible so you pay less interest over time. More such interesting topics to come in the upcoming videos. So like and share to this video and subscribe to my channel. Let's talk money.